And welcome to the In-Game Boss Podcast. I am your host, Jeremy, a.k.a. your retro activist, a.k.a. your in-game boss, a.k.a. the Sega kid of 92. And with me around that time, that might have had a Sega Genesis, he did, that is Mr. Jaron.
Yes, a.k.a. the Grumpy Bear, a.k.a. the Evil of Aku, a.k.a. X-Men, X Today.
X Today.
Yes,
X.
yes. So, yes, we're going 1989 X-Men cartoon.
X gonna give it to you.
If only. No, that's what needs to be the music in the X-Men trailer in like 5-6 years.
As they do the intro, like Wolverine and Cyclops coming through there, like X gonna give it to you. First we're gonna rock, then we're gonna roll.
I will say X-Men. I say the first couple movies do not need to have Wolverine.
Okay,
that's controversial, but that's just me. But yes, I am here, and you are there.
Yes, and we're gonna talk about a classic publisher that's been around since we were young, and that is Sega. Sega. Gosh, so much to say about Sega. Sega has been through our lives. Especially if you were born in the early 80s, growing through the 90s. Sega has been around. Sega has done so many ideas, crazy ideas, ludicrous ideas, weird decisions, bad decisions, not really bringing back things that people want. They've been bought by Sammy with the compilation and have Atlas under their belt. Sega is nuts. And I do want to later on do a special episode dedicated of Sega of like what is Sega doing that just makes me upset about them sometimes. But in this episode, we're going to be talking about like Sega's future because apparently it feels like the only reason why I say this is because Sega's future right now is feeling like the 92, 91 Sega where like they're coming in big and they're trying to bring everything back into the stride. We're back on the map. Know who we are because for a while Sega was kind of a joke. After the Dreamcast, Sega was becoming like a little joke. Like any game that come out was just not a good game. People didn't know what Sega was trying to do. They were still caught in that we're trying too hard to be cool.
Yeah, I mean they were caught in that we're going to re-release a lot of our Dreamcast games on GameCube and Xbox, and aside from that, it's not they weren't taken seriously, but they still had the stink of failure on them.
Yeah, because the one thing I like about Sega was the fact that they were when everybody went right, they went left, right? That's how it was. Nintendo was always right, like going with the traditional idea. They knew who their demographic was. Sega knew what the demographic was. It was for the people that like, you want to be cool? You want the more edgy games? We're over here. You want the more children funny little games? Go over there, And yeah. I think Sega did open that door of people taking more of the edgy style games, especially when we start seeing PlayStation, we start seeing Xbox. I would argue Nintendo kind of got a little edgier later on in certain games. Internal Darkness rings a bell to me of taking a chance on some risky ideas.
They eased the chokehold off a lot of their developers.
Yeah. But I think now we're at a time where Sega is once again, like they always do, they just throw a bunch of things at the wall and see what works. But sometimes I would argue that sometimes they get in their own way for certain ideas that they want to do. And when they hit something great, it works. But when it comes to continuing it, it kind of starts falling off a little bit. Sonic is a great example of the timeline of where they were doing good, where they were trying new ideas, and then they tried to go back and it doesn't work. And now they're trying to bring that back. But you mentioned before this recording that they are kind of getting into this back renaissance feel, which we're seeing now for the last couple of years. We're seeing this renaissance. Square Enix is bringing back this renaissance. Nintendo's kind of bringing back a little bit of renaissance on certain titles. We're seeing a lot of classics come back in the front and remasters and everything like that because I think people are screaming out just retro everywhere. So much that now that Nintendo and PlayStation are taking advantage of the retro through their online subscriptions, some shape and form, and all that kind of stuff. But Sega now is, I think now they're hitting their flow because of success of a lot of things. For one, Sonic, the movies, which, Sonic 2 is out. You haven't seen it, go check it out. I thought it was pretty good what they did. I thought it was a good follow up. You know, yes, there's some things that I think they could have took off the movie, but overall, it was still entertaining movie for what it was. I'm excited to see what the next step they're going to do. So much that you're seeing them letting some of their properties take the hands of others, you know, on their own successful way. We saw Streets of Rage 4 doing spectacular in the other hands of other developers. And I think they even started back when Sonic Mania was being given to people that were fans of Sega of making that. So, like, I like the fact that now they're kind of letting go a little bit of their property and it's like, look, maybe we just don't have that ability anymore, which we're going to talk about. And given to somebody that might do that. And also, too, I think that Sega is now seeing them losing money to the fact that other developers are doing games that they no longer want to do. For example, we have, and I'm going to butcher the name, I'm just throwing that out there, but let's say Jet Set Radio, which we will talk about Jet Set Radio later in this conversation. But Jet Set Radio, people were wanting Jet Set Radio so much that there's another group, Team Reptile, I believe the name, are doing their own game.
Yep.
You know, Bomb Rush, whatever. Cyberpunk. Like, they're doing it.
Like funk,
cyberpunk. Yeah. So they're the ones putting it out there, and that kind of screams out like, maybe we do want it. You know, people are doing their own Shining Force kind of style games. People are doing their own kind of things that Sega doesn't really want to do anymore. You know, and now that's kind of changing a little bit as we go. But before we get to the main event, let's talk about one of the first news that happened a couple days ago. Sonic Origins. Now, we saw Sonic get announced a long time ago of this Origins, a couple of directs ago. And they were talking about that they were going to bring back in a collection Sonic 1, 2, and 3 in CD. What we didn't know is, with this new announcement of Sonic Origins, that it was going to be a remaster. And it was going to be the help of some of the people that did Sonic Mania do these games. And through those things, Jaron, you know, we saw, you know, Sonic 1, 2, but we also, one thing has definitely changed. And it is that now in Sonic 1, you can have Knuckles and Tails in there. Because it never happened before. And I put this in the comment in your Twitter, and when you said no, you didn't see it, and I didn't see either. I think it was sad that we didn't see Knuckles being a guest on CD or Tails. Like, that would have been a pretty cool thing to see them. Now, granted, I mean, the Cheetahs and Mania, they could be in a CD stage, but like in a venture, that'd be kind of cool to see Knuckles go through the CD world and to see him run through the time travel and everything.
Travel, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool just to see Knuckles go through that and whatnot. But what is your thoughts about Origins? Is this something that you think is worth picking up for yourself, or do you think this is more for the new people that haven't got a chance to play Sonic games?
All right, well, I'm of two minds about this. So, one, I like the idea that they're bringing Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles plus Sonic CD, essentially consider the best ones of the 16-bit era. We're not going to look at Mean Bean Machine, Sonic Blast, or Sonic Spinball.
Not Knuckles Chaotic too? Oh,
that's 32X. Knuckles Chaotix was 32X. That doesn't count. Although that would be nice if they brought that back.
That would have been a really cool, unlockable game.
Exactly. But it's nice that they're trying to bring this back in one package. Here's what's killing me, though. They're bringing these back again. You know, we had them on the GameCube. We had some of them on Saturn. We got them on PlayStation 2 in the Genesis collection, PlayStation 3 in the Genesis Sonic Mega collection. You know, we got the Sega Genesis Mini that has them. We have them on the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. You know, and also a Sega Genesis collection that came out on, previous generation, PS4, Xbox One, all that other crap. So we have this again. Now, last time we talked about, you know, them re-releasing Sonic, I said they better bring some actual, you know, stuff to make it worth it. So they're adding new animated intros for each title. That's cool. Openings and endings, so you actually get, you know, a cohesive story. I'm guessing. They have an anniversary mode, the classic mode. So you have the remaster, like you mentioned. So it's going to look better and filled in on your screen. That's great. Sucks it took them 20 plus years to do that, but that's great.
Right.
You know, you have a museum. You have unlockables. That's also great. What is this bringing that's going to stop me from saying, it's great, but I'd rather just play Sonic Mania again? So, am I going to get it? I mean, of course, yes. But am I going to get it at the drop? I don't know. Okay. You know, I like Sonic Mania, and I still waited until that was on sale. So we'll see. It got me hyped in that I'm glad to see it's coming out, but I'm starting to experience a little Sonic re-release, 16-bit re-release fatigue. Only reason I consider really going for that is for Sonic CD. Believe it or not.
Okay. I got Sonic CD on Steam, and that was like a remastered. I like that one. No, I won't be getting this. I think this is towards the new people. This is another repackage. Like you said, like there's other access, and you're getting a remaster. Is the remaster really just to fill up a screen look cool? The intros animation, okay. What would sell me if they did the Mania treatment on these classics? Like the first stage is normal, and the second stage is like, whoa, for each one. Like how awesome to replay Sonic 1, and then the second stage is a total 180 of like, didn't see that coming. That's some love I would pay to see. Not so much of just, I can see Sonic clearer now, or the filters on the characters look a little bit better. You know, I don't want that. I wish they'd gone a little bit further. Actually, I would even took Sonic Origin, the first one, get the Mania treatment. I would buy Sonic 1 by itself if it got the Mania treatment. Like to see Spring Yard get something different, Marble Garden get something different, the Labyrinth Ruins get remixed. That would be kind of cool. That would have been cool just to see the first Sonic game just get a Mania treatment or something like that. But it is what it is. I think this is for the new people that I can get it. But if I could tell you the truth, based on what we're going to talk about, the way they're doing this pack, is that I suggest you just go play the other ones. To me, I don't think it's really worth it unless you're a collector. And
get this, origins.sonicthehedgehog.com. I'm looking at it on the pre-order. It has all these pre-order platforms. Guess what platform's not there?
Switch.
No,
they announced it. I forgot you said that. I'm glad you said that. No, later on.
So it's coming to Switch, yes. But the pre-order isn't available. They don't have the Switch pre-order.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Yeah, it's
weird, but okay. And yeah.
Maybe there's a special deal. Watch it be another special deal.
I mean, if it gives me more stuff, or it's like, hey, Sonic's running with a Mario hat. You know, that'd be cute. But I will say the other thing that I know it kind of wound you up was the little graph of all the Sonic different packages and what's included in what, and it looked confusing. And somebody on the retro game page, the retro game page, and said, "Here, let me just simplify this. Standard edition, you get these 4 things. Digital Deluxe Edition, you get everything if you pre-order. Done." And that's the way it should be. You know, this isn't Call of Duty. This isn't Watch Dogs. I don't need a gold edition, silver, gold plus. You know, I just say I get all this stuff. In the Start Dash pack, it looks like it's you get bonus coins and a mirror mode and a letterbox background.
Which, that's not worth it to me at all.
No.
And the fact that they're locking behind that is kind of the BS.
What kills me is that the Digital Deluxe Edition is only $5 more than the Standard Edition.
Which is $39.99, correct? For the standard.
Standard's $40. Digital Deluxe is $45.
Yeah. I'm not feeling that. I don't think this collection is worth it in that way. For $40, I think they should have like added another Sonic game to it or some shape or form. I don't know what, but something other than CD.
Yeah, it's basically like $10, $10-ish bucks a game. No, like $13 a game. Or if you go off of, you know, the standard edition, it's about $10, $9 to $10 a game. Which, I mean, if you break it down like that, okay, it seems a little bit more palatable. But, dude, people are tight on cash these days, especially this year. People are tight on cash. You got to bring the noise. You got to bring that Elden Ring noise.
Yeah, especially for the retro, because so far, like, it's still not. I don't know, man. I just don't think this is the package I want, and I think Sega is there with them actually thinking about doing NFTs. I think now they're getting into that boat of nickel and diming with their properties, because, like you said, like, they're feeling this bigness now. Like, oh man, Sonic's doing well in the movie theater. We're feeling big. Let's see how much we can ride this train. Let's see how much we can nickel and dime everybody. That's what it feels like to me.
They're really trying. They're really
instead of being humble.
Themselves.
Instead of being humble, like your movies are popular. Like, Sonic should be a celebration, especially for the 12th re-release of this. Like, come on, just throw a gimme in there. Just say, look, here's all the cool stuff. And if you pre-order it, maybe we'll give you a bonus character or something. I'd rather take that. Like, if you pre-order it, you get a bonus character.
You can play as Amy from Sonic CD. You can play
sure. And you can you can even, I don't even care. I'll let them be stingy. They can do the same with Mania. You get the package of getting, like, Mighty Armadillo, Vector the Croc. You know, throw those characters
like Flyhead the squirrel. Or
Charm. His name is Charmy. Yeah, Charmy. Yeah. Oh no, you're talking about the yellow squirrel. Yeah, sorry. I thought you said the bee. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, get all those in there. They made it Mania. They made it work. Put them in there. Why not?
Much respect to you for actually knowing their names, by the way.
I used to collect the comics a long time ago. Espo the chameleon. I forgot about him. Yeah, Espo. Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, but much respect to you that you actually know the names because you collected the comics. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, that you are a Sonic fan of a different caliber. You actually want to, like, that's the thing. New Sonic game, let's incorporate some of the fun from the Archie comics. You know, the reason why the old Sonic games are so popular is because it kept it simple. It kept it simple. It kept it fun. You know, you go from this side to that side, or since it's reverse, this side to that side.
You did mirror mode at first, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Sonic Origins has mirror mode apparently, but yeah, you go from one side to the other, and you listen to some bomb ass music, and you try to collect some gems. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to turn into a werehog. You don't have to turn into, you don't have to save some girl in a buggy mess. Mm-hmm. Just run, dodge, platform.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, overall,
I'll let you know how Sonic Colors is. I actually scored the PS4 version.
Cool. I was thinking about picking up Colors actually, because I don't know if they fixed the problem with Switch. I'm going to stick with the PS4 edition.
Yeah, I picked it up for the PS4. I'm going to crack into it at some point.
Because that's your first time playing it, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Never played
Sonic
Sonic
Hope you enjoy
Colors
it.
before.
Hope you enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
I hope, like, man, if there's a Sonic Mania 2 in the future, I hope they go outside the box and, like, take some of these stages from the 3D ones and make them, like, the old pixelated stages. That'd be so cool. Mm-hmm. That'd be so cool to see stuff, like, from Sonic Unleashed. Because, like, yes, the concept is bad, but some of the stages look really cool. Like, let's see that. Let's see Sonic Adventures. Let's see the Speed Highway in a 2D, like, pixelated one. That'd be kind of cool to see, you know?
Yeah.
But that's too much for them. That's too much for them.
They are making it, I don't know. Like I said, they're making this way too hard. Oh, speaking of Sega making things way too hard. So, remember a few weeks back, I told you I was tempted to get that Golden Axe arcade 1-up, right?
Yeah.
But it was way too much. It's still too much, but it's come down about $150. It's like $550 now. Mm-hmm. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait for Sega to realize where they can really make the money and release the Golden Axe collection. How hard could that be? They own the rights to it. Just wrap it all up, pretty it up real nice, have that shit out by the fall. I will buy it.
Why we talked about there should be a Sonic a Sega beat 'em up collection like Capcom.
Yes.
Put all the Golden Axe on there, all the Streets of Rage on there, or whatever other beat 'em ups they want to do.
Alien Storm, Altered Beast.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of young people who don't, aside from the memes, they don't know what Altered Beast is. They don't know what Golden Axe is. Mm-hmm. You know, they know Streets of Rage because 4 it just kicking so much butt. but they don't know about these other ones. They don't know Alien Storm. You know, it's almost like, what you know about some Alien Storm, kid?
Right.
Nothing. Come here. You know.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. They could. You're right. They could have a hell of a beat 'em up collection. It'd be like 3 or 4 franchises, but they could have a hell of a beat 'em up collection.
Right. Right. But Sega's not done with the successful of the Sonic movies. They have announced that another one is going to be in the plate of the hidden silver screen, and that's Streets of Rage. So I like, like, good for them, because like that's their other big franchise I can think of that's popular. Like, Streets of Rage has been the best beat 'em up game out of all the. I don't care. Like, I think it was better than Double Dragon. I think it was better than Capcom's games, whatever that one is. Final Fight. Yeah. It had a bomb-ass soundtrack. The characters were cool. The fighting was awesome. It felt like really, really good gameplay. And the fact that they got the director, Derek Kolstad, the creator of John Wick, holding the helm of this, that's pretty cool that they're getting him to do it. So, especially, like, he's good at action scenes. So, seeing what he can do with this gang in the streets would be really, really cool. And the production that helped produce Sonic is coming in.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm happy about that. They're keeping that train going. So, as a Sega fan and a Streets of Rage fan, I need to tell you this. How should they bring it out, this Streets of Rage? Should it be straight from the original? Should they mix and match with the second one? Like, how should they be coming out of the gate with the Streets of Rage?
Oh, shit. Well, all right. You got me started on this one. All right, listen up. It's not like I'm giving you a movie treatment, but I thought about this. All right. First off, most people, their favorite Streets of Rage is 2. The first one is fun and has some really good music, but everybody knows a lot of the tunes from 2. So I say focus on that. You could have a little history with, oh, yeah, we beat Mr. X, blah, 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 way back, and then, Adam. Or you can even kind of mesh the 2. You got to have skate. You got to have a kid on rollerblades doing badass stuff. I don't care how you do it.
Not as, like, now are you saying, like, should the... I'll let you continue. I'll ask you the question. Go ahead.
I don't know if you have to make it a full kid or make it like an older teenager and do some wire fu. He's got to have skates. Got to have Axel. Got to have Blaze. That's pretty much what most people are familiar with. And no matter what, Yuzo Koshiro needs to be consulted, if not be in charge of the freaking soundtrack to that movie. I mean, I'll give you a pass. Sonic didn't have a whole bunch of the tunes except as Easter eggs. Streets of Rage, you need to have like 75% of that be a rearranged or remixed version of the Streets of Rage.
Yeah,
music.
I'm not feeling what Sonic's doing, having these rappers come in and do these fun songs with Sonic. Streets of Rage, we need to keep it, like, classy. Like, I don't want A$AP Rocky coming on the track on one of these things. Like, no, keep it gutter, keep it soundtrack only. Like, make sure these beats are hitting hard. I don't want a remix with Kanye or another set of them, click, all that. No, keep that shit at the door. This is a whole different world. It works for the kids. Give it to the kids for Sonic. But Streets of Rage, this is for us. This is for the adults. This is not a kids movie.
With the rappers, keep the new stuff with the rappers and whatever. Keep that for like the credits. Or I'll give you this. If you're like introducing Axel or Blaze, you can have Megan Thee Stallion do a little quick thing with Blaze flipping her hair back and whooping somebody's ass.
Yeah, sure.
Fade that shit out and move back to that.
Sure. He can even play in someone's car radio. They might be driving up. You might hear it in the radio, and they get out the car. It's over. That's fine. I'm down with that. But I do not want it to be the banger when it comes to fight scenes. I want that classic remix, like bump hard beats.
Yes, and damn it, I don't care where you need to have the Attack the Barbarian boss music or Mr. X's boss music somewhere in there, because that's just badass even today. It's like 30 years later, that music is that track is still bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if nothing else, I think this movie would be won and lost. Part of this movie would be won and lost on the soundtrack.
Yeah, and especially since you got the creator John Wick, there is no way this is not PG-13 and up. Like, I think the lowest you can go is PG-13, because there's no blood. It's just straight punching. But if you want that grittiness, like John Wick, let's hit the R like John Wick did. Let's go all in, man. I say bump it. Let's go all in with hell for the rated R. Fuck it. Let's go all in. Let's go all in with the blood, punch, fights, everything. And I'm talking about let's get the win with the whips that unnecessarily are there. Like they had no reason to be in the game. They were just there to be there.
Unnecessarily sexualized.
Yeah, why not? Right now, it could be just a group of girls with whips. I don't mean you have to see one every 5 seconds. You know, I want the fat guys coming in. They get that one punch in and they laugh in their face. You know, like that, like they just ate something great in their mouth. No, man, I want it all. I want this. I don't want it like I know. Like the more I say, it's gonna sound even cheesier. But I just want those fun Easter eggs. Just like. Like just someone just does the laugh just out of nowhere, right? And so,
who's your fan casting?
I could. That's another day. We might do an episode. We might do an episode of casting.
That's hard because do you go for well known for the main characters or do you go for like C and B actors who just need a breakout role?
I think that's something we can do later. Let's do an episode. We can do like our own dream cast. Sega Dreamcast. We could do that of the Streets of Rage and see what works or not, because it's not so much the main cast I'm worried about, it's more of the villain side. Like who is going to be cast as villain, because like if they're planning to do a trilogy or if this is going to be a one-off, like there's a lot of crazy villains in this thing.
Yes.
So we don't even know who's gonna make it, and the fact that like that game goes in so many different places. Like, I wonder how the structure is going to be, because you're going from the streets to a bar, out in the streets again, a baseball field, a factory. We don't know. A kangaroo can show up. I don't know.
I mean, they could do so much at the very least, where it's like, hey, they're going on an investigation. They're checking some stuff out. Oh, I had a lead at this bar, and then some stuff pops off. Somebody puts their hand on Blaze, and she doesn't like it, breaks it, and then a fight breaks out, and they fighting in the bar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many ways they can set it up. It would be hard to fuck up the plot of a game where the point is to beat ass.
Yeah. You just have to.
I mean. The Protector. The Protector could be a beat 'em up of its own. The movie, The Protector with Tony Jaa could have been a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
So you can do it in reverse.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say just like John Wick, like he did it, like simple is better. Just know the goal and get them to make their way up to that goal. It could be, I don't care if they use the same map as John Wick. It's a straight revenge for the whole thing. I don't care. Like, just have fun with it, And to your question about Skate, I was going to ask you, should this be like where Alex... I think that's the name. Is that his brother's name, Alex?
No, Adam.
Adam, sorry. I knew it started with an A. Everybody starts with an A. Anyways, Adam, I was wondering, should he be the starter of it? And Skate is the one that could be like kind of continuing, like if Adam dies or something like that. If they continue it, somehow Adam dies, Skate can take the next thing. Or, maybe Adam gets referenced, but he can get kidnapped or something like that. I feel like Adam and Skate have to both be in there in that case.
They should both be in there, but Adam should not die. That will backfire, because
you think so for the movie world.
I'll put it this way: people got pissed until Sega went a different direction with the voice talent for Tails. Do not underestimate how loud and how shrill faithful originalists can be.
Well, yeah, but those are diehards, right? I mean, I think we're going to have to chew up something, because if no one dies in Streets of Rage, then it's kind of just boring to me. Like, someone has to go down. It's a struggle.
Simple. Make an original throwaway character.
Nah, you got to be somebody. You got to be somebody that people know. You got to hate. You got to be mad and hate. Adam is the perfect character to die at, because yes, you get pissed off. That's what we want. The show Mr. X is lethal. You gotta kill somebody off that's important. That's how you get into it. If you don't kill anybody off, then it's not fun. You kill a guy that they just made up, that's not fun, because you can't connect with him.
Yeah, but I mean, I will split the difference. How about Adam and Skate's parents? They watch him get tortured, gunned down.
No. And look, it's funny you say that because like if the grandpa with the arm died, no one would care. If the kangaroo died, no one would really care. Not even the big wrestling guy that was in the second one. If he died, no one would care. It has to be Adam. The reason why Adam has to be because he didn't make it in the second one. He didn't come back to the fourth one. They can Fast and Furious it if they want to with Han style if they have to. But Adam has
so he doesn't really die. He
sure, why not? I mean, they can foam it and people get so mad about it. But Adam is the perfect key that he has to die. That's how you hype up the second one, man. They're going after him. You're not a villain if you don't take somebody down at that point, man. You know I'm right.
Okay, if you want to raise the stakes, I will give you this. Killing one of the main characters would make sense, or at least making it appear that they were killed would make sense. I will flex on the fact that you can even fit it into the kind of the plot of the movie and stretch it into the second movie. Adam appears to have been killed. You know, maybe even save it as a post credits for the first one. Oh, he's not. He's alive, and this, that, and the other. You know.
Yeah, like you got the reason I say this is because Mr. X in the video game, he's not really anything special. He's just a guy that hires a bunch of goons as you make your way to him. Yeah. To make Mr. X stand out, or a villain in a beat-em-up game, you have to do something for him to stand out. And him just sitting back there doesn't make him stand out. You might as well just say, might have him in there. You might as well just focus on all these other villains, these other characters, his lackeys to come in and do it. But it's not fun if they always win everything. You know? Hell, they can even, if they wanted to do, even for you, Adam could be in the hospital, I don't care. To me personally, I think they should pull the trigger. Take a chance, kill him. I say do it. But somebody has to get hurt so bad that we as an audience, to me, have to be, no, not our boy. And it can't be Axel. And it can't be Blaze.
Nope.
Those are the two best characters, right? That's everybody loves so much. Adam is always the third round, and so is Skate. And
Adam was my favorite character, too. That's what kills me.
I know, right? I agree. And Skate was cool, too. But I would even argue that maybe Skate could die, too. Maybe he's the boy that wants to follow Adam so much that he gets too risky and he dies.
You just want to kill everybody off.
No, I'm just telling you how to get yourself hype. Like, it's boring if someone doesn't get hurt. And it's Streets of Rage, man. It's a thrashing, bloody, beat-em-up game. Well, minus the bloodiness. But you're telling me that in real life, if that game was real, you think we all make it way out? I wouldn't. I'd be probably dead after the second stage. With the whips? The whips! They're electrocuted? Are you kidding? We'd be dead. We'd be dead.
Oh, you make it past the dudes with the boomerangs, but the dudes with the Freddy Krueger claws, you're done.
Yeah, like in that little jungle area with that boom, 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 boom. All that crap, man. Yeah, those bad guys they do not fit that world, but man, they are vicious. Especially the punch out Mike Tyson wannabe looking guy from the boat that just goes up and just do these like Sagat styles to you. Yeah. You gonna live through that? I question it. Anyways, all right, let's get into the main thing. But no, I'm excited. Whatever they do, I hope they do a great job with it. I have faith in, Derek, the creator of John Wick. For better or worse, I liked his movies. I thought they were action-packed. I thought they were fun, regardless of story and whatnot. So I hope that, he gives that same love to Streets of Rage, because we only get one of these. Yeah. So I hope that does well. Hopefully he gets a trilogy in his own way. That'd be kind of cool. Because they already have the playing field, especially Streets of Rage 4. They all have it on here.
Yeah, you got a hell of a storyline to follow.
Mm-hmm. But you had a great idea. Maybe later on, maybe like in the next month or in the summer, we'll do a Streets of Rage cast and talk about what's our dream cast. I'll probably have my homeboy Brian come in because he's a huge Streets of Rage fan too. Maybe I'll get a group of people in the chat in here. We'll just talk about what our dream cast group will be. That'll be a fun talk. Anyways, let's get into the bigger Sega, because this is all with the Sonic success, the Streets of Rage being announced. Maybe with that new movie, The Norseman, coming out. Maybe they'll do so well. They'll do Golden Axe for you. I like putting those thoughts in your head so you can just be upset about it. Anyways, Sega is trying to go big this year with big plans with their Sega super game project where they're trying to just go big. They're trying to reboot, remaster, remake. They're taking a big budget. They're bringing back these games that people have been wanting, so we believe. All these classic, a new direction, whatever. I mean, think about like a couple of years ago, they even changed the way they do their logo of, a giant eye with the Sega on coming through the lens of the eye. This is them kind of going through these changes of doing something new to refresh their logo, redo their motto and everything like that. No.
Yeah.
So what is this coming with? Well, for one, they really want to they are partnering up with Microsoft to do this Azure cloud project, sound save or whatever they do. You know a lot about that? I honestly
Microsoft.
Yeah, so I don't know too much about that. But one of the other things they're trying to do is one of the big influence is Fortnite for them. And what that means is they want to bring these games back and set it up where they can make money doing this free-to-play motto for some of the games. I'm not saying all of them, because some of the games they mentioned they want to bring back or do something with is Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Panzer Dragoon was mentioned, Virtual Fighter was mentioned.
I mean, they just dropped like late last year, Virtual Fighter 5 on the a new version of it.
Yeah, it was actually before E3. Actually, I remember that.
Yeah, it does feel like a monkey's paw type of thing. It's like, yeah, we're gonna bring all these games back, but NFTs.
Yeah, and NFTs,
microtransactions.
Yes. So, but let's talk about the two big ones they recently announced that we got to confirm up, and that's Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. And what they're trying to do with those is kind of like, now, I can't speak for Jet Set Radio. Maybe they did say that, but I don't know if Jet Set Radio is trying to go with the free-to-play motto. I know Crazy Taxi was kind of, but I don't know Jet Set Radio is. So here's my thoughts about it. Jet Set Radio, I honestly think it should not be a free-to-play motto, but if they do, there might be some potential there in some shape or form. But the question is, what are they going to do to continuing that going, right? Because for people that don't know, Jet Set Radio, it was a game that came on the Dreamcast. It was one of a cult hit, and it's basically about, rollerblade people going around spray painting graffiti around Tokyo, or more of Japan.
Like the man.
Yeah. And your goal of the game is just you get certain amount of spots you got to graffiti before a time limit. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, cops are trying to stop you. There are helicopters involved. Troops are following you. And every time you spray paint, it becomes a quick time event kind of per se, where you're drawing the image. You're going the direction with your joystick that the arrow's telling you. Like you could do a full half a circle, turn a half right, half left, whatever, and filling this all out. So it's a fun little puzzle game in between that. And followed by that, you get all these different characters. Followed by you're grinding, you're doing tricks and everything. It was really cool. But I think what really made it stand out was the artwork. The art was really cool. It was real shell shaded. Looks really pretty, especially the remastered that they brought out on Steam back in like 2007 on Xbox.
And the music.
All that. And the music was wild too. It definitely stood out. I haven't had music stand out like that since like Streets of Rage, where you have like these crazy DJ and stuff. And it's funny story because that same person that's done the soundtrack is doing Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. He's doing the whole soundtrack on that too. So I was like, that's pretty cool in his own way. And then you have then you have Crazy Taxi, which Crazy Taxi is kind of what it is. You're a taxi driver, but what's crazy about it is you're taking these people to these destinations, and there's just so many crazy things in your way to get there, and you have to get there in that time limit that they told you in order to get the next person. So
what kills me is that the game started out in the arcades because it was meant to, unless you're really good, you're going to fail and have to put coins in to continue. Mm-hmm. They kept that with Dreamcast for the first one, and of course the second one they opened it up a bit more.
And then I never played the third one though.
Yeah, me neither. Mm-hmm. But it's ripe. It's ripe for microtransactions. That's what worries me.
It is, because the question is, I guess, let's say both of them are, which I'm not happy that Jet Set Radio might be hitting that future, but what can they do that would work, that would satisfy you? Let's talk about Crazy Taxi first. I think that's the easiest one to start out. So I think one is for one, of course, I don't think they're going to charge you for like each time you pick somebody up per se. I think this is going to be more of maybe how you want to do your taxi, like if you want to make your colorful taxi or
cosmetics
stuff like that. Maybe there can be expansions of city, like maybe there'll be different locations in this big city of yours that that expand more. That can be something I could be down for, to keep it alive. Because they're talking about keeping this alive for many years. So, like, how are you going to keep Crazy Taxi going for so long? Are there going to be multiplayer? Are there going to be, like, a race of, people picking up people and doing it at the same time? Is it going to be a rush? Whoever picks up this person, I don't know. I never played enough Crazy Taxi to really tell you what all you can really do. All I know is that you pick them up and you drop them at a certain time limit. If you don't, then it's game over.
Yeah. I mean, it's very simple, arcade-ish action. And that's what I fear in the sense to try and add stuff to it. They're going to muck it up. You get someone from point A to point B. You pick up a new passenger, point B to point C, and so forth and so forth. Simple gameplay loop. You racing, you have to run around and take turns and everything like that. Why? Nothing else needs to be added to it. Anything else is just going to make it bog it down in minutia, So I don't know.
Okay.
They may put it on mobile. God help us if they do. They may put it on mobile and make it, kind of like you try your best. You only have so many turns a day, but you can buy more turns in addition to cosmetics. I hope not, but I wouldn't put it past Sega. I mean, Nintendo's doing similar stuff with Mario Kart Tour.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Characters unlock. I mean, you could get you can get like the character from Shenmue maybe as a driver. Sonic could be a driver. I mean, you already got Sonic Racing.
Why not? Might as well go crazy. Yeah, it's.
I think for this Crazy Taxi, and I'm only speaking because I never played the second one and third one. So anybody that's watching this, leave a comment down below if you know more about this than I do. Does Crazy Taxi ever felt crazy in the title of what the game is trying to do? Like, I think it's crazy because like you're driving through through people's properties, or you're going through like just like little things to get to point A to point B. Has it gone like higher up, like, hey, maybe like you're going through a bridge? Is there going to be breakable things? Like maybe you'll crash through a building, or go through a mall like the Blues Brothers. Like, is there anything? Have we gone that crazy in Crazy Taxi?
In the later games, not that I can recall in the original, but in the later games. What made Crazy Taxi crazy was the music. It was very much, na 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 na, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And the wild, at the time, like late 90s, early 2000s type of, actually really late 90s, funky. That was what made it crazy, and the fact that you can run and hit some trolley and flip over and then keep going. It was that kind of like Cruising USA. You know how crazy Cruising USA was, and those games. It was kind of like that, but in a more stylized animation.
Would you like to see them go bigger with that, like going through buildings to get to certain locations? Of
course. Like I want to bring all the best things from all the Crazy Taxi games and put it into this one. But I want to see. I'd like to see it. I still fear that they're going to screw it up.
I think that they should go even crazier and have different forms of taxis, like just to be funny, like the whole like Asian taxis, like
rickshaw.
You're holding and carrying them. I think that'd be fun. Bikes, like a bike taxi, like you carry somebody on the bike and carry them somewhere, or a motorcycle or whatever.
Just different things to unlock depending on what you do.
Yeah, and those can be challenges, because I think that's one thing Taxi didn't really have too much of, is the challenges. Like, when you pick up this person, make sure you do this, or it doesn't have to be a time limit. Maybe it could just be a fun, this person wants you to do this challenge and they want to be in the car when you do it, or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that reminds me of bits and pieces of Outrun, the newer Outrun games.
Okay.
Where you have to race or drive dangerously and raise, raise whatever meter to get your girlfriend to give you a kiss or something like that.
Okay.
So I think so. I think that could work. But in addition, they have to change up the gameplay loop smartly, wisely, or else it's just going to feel repetitive. Because the original Crazy Taxi, after a while, it was a repetitive game.
It was.
Yeah, it was a very repetitive game.
Which I think that's why the free-to-play, I think, makes sense in that way. Because I think as buying it as a retail, I don't think no matter what, if it's higher than $20, it's not going to be worth it because it could be just very repetitive. The free-to-play for this game makes a lot more sense to me because it's easy to put up and put down. Like, you had your fill, you move on, and it was free. You know, instead of committing this. Because let's be honest here, like during the Dreamcast time, a lot of Sega arcade games were fun, but they were short and they were repetitive. And you dropped like $30-$40. So Crazy Taxi was definitely one of those. So I think the free-to-play for that makes better sense for that situation. So
no, yeah, that would be a lot more palatable. I agree. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. I will always love Sega, but I'm always going to have very cynical. Well, let's see how they're going to screw this up. You know,
yeah.
They snatch defeat from the jaws of victory so well.
And then that goes into Jet Set Radio, which Jet Set Radio, I don't think fits the free to play, but I can see what they can do with it. For instance, like to buy characters, because Jet Set Radio had a ton of different characters. Like by the end of the game, you had about like over 10 characters, I believe, all sitting in that garage, just bumping the music, you know, boom, 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 you know, with Professor K rocking it up and everything like that. Right. So yeah, so they can definitely charge you for these characters on lock. They can charge you for graffitis that you want to put in the game, because in the future and the original one, you could terribly create your own graffiti. You could.
Yeah,
I mean, you weren't good.
They
were terrible. Like I tried it, I was terrible at it. It was not worth it. But you know, because the only other way to get graffiti was to find the icons around the stage that would unlock a certain number that would unlock the graffiti that you can select, because in the game, you had small, medium, and large graffitis, but you couldn't customize anything you want. You had to preset them. You had to preset, this is the one I always want to spray when it's small, medium, and huge.
Yeah.
Is what it was. But it would be cool if somehow, for me personally, it'd be kind of cool if you can do a random, and I'm not talking about the charge of the free-to-play. I'm just talking about in the gameplay. It'd be kind of cool if you're going to spray paint, that you can have it on random. So no matter what I spray, any graffiti I've been collecting, whatever I spray, it is what it is. I don't know what's going to be. I just want to spray it, right? I think that'd be kind of cool, because I think that feels more natural as a spray painter, because like I don't think a spray painter is going to want to spray the same thing on 1,000 things per se. You know, you want to show your designs. So you want to show one here that's cool. You want to show here that's cool. You want to represent here. You know, I thought that'd be kind of cool in the other way.
Unless they're a gang member and they're just tagging.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. We have all these other gang members and stuff like that. And also too, like we don't know what they're trying to do with Jet Set. I mean, the last game was set in the future. Like, are they going back to the original? Are they going to go do something in between? Is this a reboot? Is this going to be something brand new? We don't.
The reboot.
We really don't know. But the free to play, I think, wouldn't really work on here to me, because I think Sega would just abuse it from your graffitis to your music. They would charge you what music you want to have playing while you're skating around, because Jet Set Radio that's the reason why the soundtrack was so good, because you're just kind of just rolling, skating around, just spray painting to a jam. And I think they will charge you for these jams for you to play. I really do.
You're just chilling, and all of a sudden, you know, oh yeah, I like this. Let me go skate to that. Yeah, it's. I don't know, man. You paint a very enticing picture, and the more enticing picture you paint, the more I realize, like, we're not gonna get that.
We're not gonna get that, and I think that's why, if Sega's not careful with Jet Set, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is going to be that warrior game that everybody's gonna go to. Like, you guys are not the same anymore. this is the way we want our game. We want this style. So
yeah, it's going to get compared to that relentlessly.
So here's the elephant in the room, and I'm going to be true to this. If you're a real Sega fan and you know Sega so much, you play all their Sega games, then maybe you'll understand what I say here. I don't think Sega's as good at making these games that they own anymore. I just don't think they're good at it. I mean, Sonic Team, the team that is normally making Sonic games, have not made a decent Sonic game in a very long time. They're called Sonic Team. And since the first time they touched 3D to 06 to all this, I'm going to throw colors out of the loop. But to mess up that, we got Sonic Lost Worlds. So, with that being said, Sonic Team is not good at making their own Sonic games anymore. They try too hard. They're trying to overthink the fox. They're not Nintendo. Nintendo so far are the only ones that are successful of, let's try something new and it'll work. They try something new with Sonic and it doesn't work. I don't know why. Maybe they're trying so hard. And I'm hoping Sonic Frontiers will change my mind that they have found out what they do. But the problem is, to this, Jaron, is a lot of these creators have left this company, and these new people don't know what to do with them. The people, Smiley Bits, the people that did Just Hit Radio, Gun Valkyrie, or whatever the game that was on the Xbox, that developer is gone. And those were the creators of that. So Sega has to get a new people. I don't know who they're going to be. Hopefully they'll look into that. But a new person doing this game that there hasn't been a new Jet Set Radio since 2002, that's tough to swallow that they're going to pull this off. It just feels like they're putting this big budget, but maybe they're going to spend too much money on something and not focusing what this is. Phantasy Star. Yes, Phantasy Star 2 is doing great. And actually, I can't lie. But the last Phantasy Stars before that were terrible. The Universe series was terrible.
It didn't work out. It strayed too far from what people wanted.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about Phantasy Star 0 on DS, and I'm not talking about Phantasy Star 1 and 2 on the PSP. Those are fine. But we're talking about like a big AAA kind of game. That one, the Phantasy Stars have not been good since Online 2 that is out now.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and it's not even a new game because Online 2 was out for a good while. It just took a while until it got here. Mm-hmm. And you can still play it for free.
Yeah. Yes. And so far, I can't think of a successful Sega game that's made in-house that they have done well. And like I said, Streets of Rage 4 was outsourced. A lot of these games were outsourced, and they were doing better. Even their fan people made Sonic Mania good, right? Like
they had to hire Christian Whitehead. Yeah, they worked with Christian Whitehead because he was like, hey, this is how you make a game good. Stand back.
Maybe Valkyrie, the military game, the anime.
Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah. I say that one was pretty successful. The problem with it is that Sega makes weird decisions of what games are going to be ported over here or not, because a lot of people probably only remember the first one and the fourth one because the second one only came out on the PSP and the third one never got released. And it's like, how are people going to, give or take, they're all standalone stories, I believe. But still, though, a lot of people wanted to play the third one and the second one and stuff like that. But here's another thing. Panzer Dragoon. They want to do something with that. I don't know if I trust them anymore for that. Especially, I think people want Saga, which we'll never get that because they lost the code for that, right? Unless they remaster it, not remaster, or rebuild it from the ground up again.
And then it's going to play wonky and have weird issues. But you know what? I would still rather they do that and put out, a game that looks weird just so the game is back out again. Because I'm sorry, Panzer Dragoon Saga should not be stuck in the hands of stingy collectors and on ISOs that have to be burned and played on a Sega Saturn.
I'll give you that. I can respect that. Yeah, I can respect that. You also have your Golden Axe. I mean, Could they really?
Revenge of Death Adder. Just bring that out.
Well, the last Golden Axe, they didn't know what the hell to do with it. That came out on the PS3. Like, what was that mess about?
That was embarrassing.
They just make so many weird decisions, and they just, I feel like as developers, they just lost that Sega feel that we've been wanting for so long. It feels like they always try too hard. I guess that's the question. They're trying so hard to be something that they don't need to. They have nothing to prove anymore. They're out of the console business, and now you would think they're focusing on gaming only, that they could get this right. Like, this is their focus, but they still can't, and it's that's why it's so hard sometimes to be a Sega fan, because you're hyped like, oh, and you're like, oh. Now,
it's like, son of a bitch.
Now, one game they could do that is free to play is Kid Chameleon. Bring that. They can definitely do a free to play for that. And I would love a Kid Chameleon to come back in a cool way. 3D, cool, that'd be awesome. But it's not going to happen because Sega doesn't really care about those things. Toe Jam and Earl, wasn't that outsourced? I think Toe Jam and Earl was outsourced.
Yeah, they
outsource all your games.
Switch and stuff. Yeah, they kind of redid that. You know, I mean, and it was fine for what it was. Mm-hmm. You know, it didn't suck, but there's certain properties that. So what I'm hearing you say is Sega should basically just license out their original properties and focus on their new IPs. Just focus on the new IPs and let other people do their old properties. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That sounds fair. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You know, anything they let another development team, director, whatever handle, they are bringing. Though they bring those classics into the new millennium. You know, and unfortunately, that's the thing. A lot Sega and a lot of these companies in Japan, they are stuck in the past. You look forward. They're supposed to look forward, always move forward. But in looking forward, you tend to forget where you came from and what made it awesome. So you end up making worse and worse decisions.
Yeah, because let me ask you this. Do you think Sega or a lot of developers, kind of like we could say, for example, Nintendo, sometimes have a hard time trying to reintroduce a new idea to something old? You know what I mean? So, for instance, like Streets of Rage 4 is an old game with an old style, but it feels fresh and new. Do you think Sega has a hard time doing that? Because sometimes I feel like we have to do something completely new. We're going to lean into it. What do people like? 3D? We're going to do that. Or do you think they're too easy inspired by what other companies are doing, and they're like, we want to copy that, but put one of our classic titles on top of that?
It depends on the developer, because all of those, they commit all of those sins.
Okay.
They chase a trend, and they often chase a trend too late. You know, they'll try and introduce like something with a new twist, but they concentrate on, oh, look at this new twist. They forget what made the game fun in the first place.
Okay.
And I don't know, whomever they have that makes the decisions, unfortunately, they get to stay in their position because of seniority, but they need to step down. I'm not saying Sega's in trouble or anything. Sega's making their money, you know, in various means. Although I will say that, you know, some of the arcades closing I don't know how much money they got from it, but whatever. Sega needs to make a change in direction soon-ish.
So,
or they're just going to be associated. They're going to have a reputation worse than Acclaim.
Okay. So, before we wrap this up, as you know, we do our in-game boss challenge question. And my question goes to you, Mr. Jaron. My question for you is, what do you want to see Sega's super game project that will satisfy you for their future going forward? What do you personally want to see?
What do I want to see in their super game project?
You can say, now, free-to-play is definitely going to stay, but you can just kind of implement it for yourself. What do you like to see? Whatever. What is your vision that you think it will help Sega kind of be, you know, get noticed again? Instead of being that, oh, here comes Sega. Here was the twist.
All right. First off, Sega, you need to remind people why you were the arcade kings back in the 80s and 90s. You do that by pulling away from re-releasing the same damn collections over and over again. You need to do it a two-prong attack. Original IP in a collection, remastered or whatever, and then your new your new IP.
Okay.
So, for example, we kept talking about their beat 'em up collection. For the Super Game Project, boom, beat 'em up collection. Then remaster Golden Axe game.
Oh, by the way, continue. I forgot to mention, and maybe somebody out there is yelling about it, but I forgot to mention that House of the Dead recently came out. That was a remake for that.
Oh yeah, so I picked that up because Brandy and I like light gun games, and we loved House of the Dead Overkill on the Wii.
Okay,
that was the shit.
Okay,
that was the shit. I don't know if you've ever played it.
No, I haven't had a chance.
You need to play House of the Dead Overkill. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay,
but so House of the Dead remake. Womp womp.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
It's not that fucking hard on the controls. Gyroscope, one Joy-Con, gyroscope, point at the screen, shoot. How fucking hard is that? No, I'm not even going to censor myself. How fucking hard is that?
Also, it's coming out. It just announced it's coming out for the other consoles and PC too. Just throwing that out there.
Their only hope is a patch that fixes the performance of the crosshairs, because I was trying to play with the gyroscope and then just pull a trigger and then another button for reload, because that's pretty much all you should worry about with the controls.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was easier to play with a fucking thumbstick, dude.
I bet.
I bought that. Luckily, I had a bunch of Nintendo points and stuff, so I only spent like $8 on it instead of the full $30, $40.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I am so disappointed. So disappointed. And the thing is, they're already working on House of the Dead 2 remake. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. For their Super Game Project, they need to, stop doing that shit. And if they want to impress me, do a House of the Dead collection. House of the Dead 1, 2, 3.
That's not going to happen now.
Overkill.
That's not going to happen now. But go on.
Wishful thinking. We're talking about if I call shots,
mm-hmm.
I'd be like, House of the Dead collection. You can fit that SOB in one game. And work it out. I mean, the biggest thing is, oh man, CRTs, light guns. You can bring back the enjoyment of light gun games. You can. It's possible. Nintendo Switch shown how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So bring that back, and then boom, maybe revisit Zombie Revenge, which was set in the House of the Dead universe. That's kind of a beat 'em up along the lines of Die Hard Arcade. Oh wait, that's right, Die Hard Arcade, or release it under its original Japanese name. I can't remember what it is.
They can look it up. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will correct me. But, Dynamite Deca. Yeah, it was called Dynamite Deca.
Mm-hmm.
So release that. Like, hit us with your original, like, oh, this is fun. Oh, this is what it was. Oh, hey, here's our new offering. And... But I'm going with deep cuts. I'm trying to reach out for deep cuts. Sega's going with their tried true. What most people know. Would
you be satisfied if Nintendo announced for their expansion you got like a nice collection of like Saturn games, classic Saturn games, or like Dreamcast games or something like that?
That would Saturn especially would really tempt me, because for those who don't know. For those who aren't retro collectors and everything, the Sega Saturn was a failure of a console in the U.S., but it was a hit in Japan. It stayed neck and neck with PlayStation in Japan. The thing is, it didn't. The games that made it a hit in Japan didn't come out over here.
Mm-mm.
So if they were to do that, they need to find some way to localize a lot of those hit games. And I would say if you're going to drop Saturn support into the expansion pack, you need to drop like 10 games, 10 good games. I'm not talking about Daytona USA. No, if you have to do that later. I'm talking about the games that collectors would have to spend $60, $70 to $150 for. Drop that into Nintendo Switch, But here's the kicker, Jeremy. Saturn emulation is still pretty hard.
It is.
Sega probably still can't get it right, even if other independent developers are getting it right. Sega can't get that shit right.
Yeah, it's like PlayStation with PS3. Like, they have to stick with cloud-based. Somehow they cannot figure that out. For Sega, it's like the Saturn.
I bet you they could figure it out.
But you know what I mean. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which it kind of would infuriate you how many people or how many times that's really the reason used for why a feature.
No, I heard that like people out in the real world can do it, and I think they could do the same thing with the Saturn too. If it's just it's worth the money and resource in their own favor, right? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean they're wasting money on these bullshit re-releases of the same 16-bit library. Take a couple years off. Get a proper emulator and proper Saturn emulator.
Okay.
And get after it. I mean, if you're Sega, prove it. Bring me beyond 16-bit. I mean, we've said this in other shows. Bring Sega beyond 16-bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you really kick Super Game off. It's like, cool. Oh, by the way, Saturn and Dreamcast, have a good day.
Okay. Is that everything you wanted to say?
I think I've said enough.
Okay. I like your idea of the port thing because not necessarily like at least like bring the ones that people I think would really like. I used the example like Grandia. Like it was really cool that Grandia and Grandia 2 came out like in a nice little collection. And there is some classic Sega games over there. There's like the Shining series, which is like split into 3 categories. Like you have the Shining Force and you have Shining, wherever the hell you want to call that one. There's a lot of those
Shining PS2 games that came out.
Yeah, well, on the Saturn, there was a lot of Shining stuff, especially developed into Dragon Force. Those kind of tactical games and stuff. That would have been cool to see port over. Because the one game I really want to play that was on the Dreamcast, and it was called Sega Gaga. And I really wanted to play that game more than anything because it was about a story about a kid that was that got hired to save Sega. And I'm like, I want to play that game. That sounds hilarious. And it's an RPG. He's going against logos and other companies. Like, that looks so freaking funny. Go look it up. The gameplay looks awesome.
I'm looking at it right now. Someone has a full playthrough of it.
Yeah, it's a hilarious game. I always wanted that over here. It looks amazing. I always wanted that.
Developed by Sega Hitmaker. It's a single-player role-play. See, that, I mean, I haven't even seen it in action, but just the premise of it looks like that would be fun as hell.
That'd be a fun port over there. And the reason I brought that up because Square has been doing a good job in their own way bringing games that never been released over here in some shape or form. So I really like them doing that. So I think Sega should do that. They should kind of dig in that pocket a little bit and just like bring out the ones that people, or just throw people a loop. I don't know if Sega Gaga was a game that everybody wanted, but I think that people that should go look at were like, why not? No one has ever played a game where your role is to save a company.
Not in this case.
Not in the Sega style.
Not when it's parodying the battle between Dreamcast and PS2.
Yeah. Why not? That sounds hilarious to me. So
yeah, it's just crazy enough to catch people's attention.
Yeah, and it could be digital only, and it could be I would drop $30 for that game. Why not? For a game that like it's been it's basically the Earthbound. It's the Earthbound of Sega. It's Earthbound 3 to me.
It's Mother 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's Mother 3 to me. Sega Gaga's Mother 3 to me that I want over here more than any other Sega game. I always wanted to play that. I always read it in magazines. They said it was going to come over here, and then, of course, if the Dreamcast flopped and never got a chance to be ported. But now is the time. Sega can turn... It's funny. It's weird, right? Because, like, Sega might not do consoles anymore, but they can make the Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo their virtual paradise consoles of putting these games all on there.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, you have your Switch for your classic 16-bit, and revisit, because a lot of people, I would buy Sonic whatever on the Switch because I like going on the go and it fits. Mm-hmm. And then, the PlayStation and the Xbox, you do these big outside the box projects. Mm-hmm. I mean, if they brought Sega Gaga over, they localized it and dropped it on the Switch, you'd buy that for $40.
Yeah.
Exactly. You didn't even have to think about it. So yeah, I don't need another Shenmue. I don't need another Phantasy Star. I want some outside the box thinking, or you need to go back to the well, to a different part of the well. If you're going to go back to 16-bit and 32-bit, pull some shit out your ass that you haven't pulled out before.
Right.
But,
okay. Well,
whatever.
Well, with that being said, we got to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for listening to this, but let us know down below, what do you think of the Sega, Super Game Project? What do you think? What do you want to see them do? What games you want? Do you want this free-to-play idea? What do you want? Leave a comment down below. We would love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't had a chance, check out our last episode where we talked about our prediction of games that have not had a release date, and they've been in development for a very long time, and we are trying to decide. We pick when we think they're going to come out. We're going to hold a tally for that, hopefully in the future, to find out. To see how, we almost got it. But as you know, this is part of the In-Game Boss Program Network, game and other variety shows. So please check out all our great shows. We have new episodes of the Cabinet Session. We have more episodes of Buddy of Gaming coming soon. We have more movie stuff to talk about soon for When Jerry Met Nom. And of course, we are on Facebook and Twitter. You can find us Facebook in our community. Well, not really community, it's just me. But the In-Game Boss Program, you can look that up. And on Twitter, you can look up at Program In. Or you can find me personally, because I told myself in a post that I got to learn to Twitch. I got to tweet more. So that's what I've been working on. So I just talk about I never met a person that doesn't like fried chicken yet. So I'm hoping I keep that going.
Yeah, I saw that post. I was like, I don't know if I should comment on that.
I said some people. I said there's probably some people out there. I said I personally had never met somebody like that.
No, me neither. Yeah. I haven't met either, especially if you get that home style.
Yeah.
That home style done right.
Right.
Oh, no,
Yeah. But you can find me as RetroAmp07. And
you can find me at the Grumpy Bear 84 on Twitter. I will not be talking about how much I really enjoy fried chicken. I do, but I'm not going to talk about it.
And we will catch you on our next stage. Stage clear. Let's go.
Sega.
All right.